I can understand English language well, I can read well, but when it comes to speaking English, I get stuck. It is happening with people. People can understand English language well, they can read things in English very well, but when it comes to speaking English, most of the time people get stuck at some point because word does not come out in their minds. They also could not understand what they should say at that time. Hello my friends, how are you? I hope you are doing very well. My name is Soumen and today's topic is I can understand English language well, but when it comes to speaking English, I get stuck. I know people are facing that problem. That's why I want to talk about this topic again. But before we start, I want to say to every single of one, watch the video till the end because this video is going to help you to understand how you can speak in English without getting stuck. So watch the video till the end and let's start. I can understand English language well, I can read things in English very well, but when it comes to speaking English, I get stuck. What does not come out in my mind? I could not understand what I should say and what I should not say. It is happening with people. People are facing that problem. So what can we do to solve that issue? What practice we exactly need to order to speak in English fluently without getting stuck? I suggest to every single of one the best method. Try to think in English. Start to think in English language everything because it is going to help you a lot to understand what you have to say. Most of the people, they avoid thinking. Instead, they translate their native language into English language. And because of that reasons, sometimes we cannot understand what we should say. What does not come out in our minds, we could not understand what we should say at that time. We avoid to think in English. It is very important to order to speak in English effectively or fluently. You need to start to think in English well. What you think in a day, try to convert that thought into English language. The best way you can improve your thinking in English language, choose any specific image and try to describe the details of that image. Through your thought, you don't have to speak, just imagine the details. And you can choose any specific incidents or you can choose any specific story, describe that story and incident through your thought. You do not have to speak, just think about that incidents. Think about the details of that image. If you do the practice regularly, definitely your thinking in English will be improved and you would have idea what you have to say to people. I think this is very important to order to speak in English fluently without getting stuck. First you need to learn how to think in English well. But people, they avoid thinking in English language. Instead they try to translate their native language into English language. And because of that reason, sometimes we get stuck at some point. We could not speak continue, even though we can understand English language. We can read things in English very well, but when it comes to speaking with people, we get stuck. Why we get stuck and how we can solve that issue? You need to think in English. Start to think in English everything what you think in your day. Try to convert your thought into English language. What you think, try to think those kind of same things into English language. You have to put yourself in English environment instead of thinking in your native language. It is going to help you a lot to understand English language better way. And when you have idea what you have to say, you would not get stuck at some point. You can speak fluently without getting stuck. So I think this is very important to order to speak in English without getting stuck. You need to learn how to think in English well. Choose any specific image or any specific incidents and describe that incidents or image through your thought. You do not have to speak, just think about the incidents. If you do the practice regularly, definitely your thinking in English will be improved and also you would not get stuck when you are going to talk with someone. And another step that I want to say to every single of one, use English language. Talk with yourself at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Do the practice regularly. Do not avoid to talk with yourself because this is very important to speak in English fluently. You can understand English language well, you can write things down in English well, but when it comes to speak in English, you get stuck at some point, because what does not come out in your minds, you could not understand how you can talk with people without getting stuck. So I think we have to practice to talk with ourselves regularly. Choose any specific topic and try to talk with yourself. If you have somebody, then you can, if you have somebody to practice, just go out and talk with them. Do not let that opportunity go, because this is very important to talk with someone to improve your English language. Most of the people, they don't have anyone to practice in English language, and if you have somebody, that is the best opportunity for you to improve your English. Just go out and talk with people. It is okay to make mistakes, because some people think making mistake, it is the bad things, but I want to encourage to every single of one, if you do not make mistakes, it means you are not growing yourself. It means you are not taking any action towards success. If you make mistakes, that means you are trying to do something, you are trying to improve your skills. So making mistake, it is not a bad thing. Don't forget, it is not our native language. So definitely we make mistake when we speak in English. Who can speak this language so fluently, they also make mistake when they speak in English. So there is no problem to make mistakes. Just go out and talk with people as much as possible to you. And if you feel like you don't have that courage to talk with someone right now, then you can develop the confidence through talking with yourself. Do the practice regularly. Choose any specific topic and try to talk with yourself. Don't make any excuse, because if you want to speak in English fluently or effectively, you need practice regularly, because without practice, it is not possible for us to speak in English effectively. You need practice regular base. So promise yourself that you are going to do the practice regularly. Maintain discipline, follow the consistency, because that is going to help you a lot to improve your skills. It is going to help you a lot to build the confidence to talk with someone. Do not avoid to think in English, and don't avoid to talk with yourself. Do that to practice. Definitely your speaking level will be improved, and you can talk with people without getting stuck. Believe me, it worked for me. I used to get stuck when I talk with someone. I could read in English well, but when it comes to speaking English, I got stuck at some point. What does not come out in my mind, I could not understand how I can solve that issue. What practice I need exactly to order to speak in English fluently. It is happening with people, but don't worry. You can solve that issue. You can improve your English language through practice. Just start to think in English instead of thinking in your native language, and start to talk with yourself more and more. Put yourself in English environment, and if you have somebody to practice in English language, just go out and talk with people. It is going to help you a lot to build confidence, and most importantly, it is going to help you to improve your fluency in English language. So thank you so much guys for watching me. I hope you will like this video, and most importantly, I hope you will learn something valuable things from this video. And if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe, because I did really hard work to make this video. Support our channel, subscribe the channel, click on the bell, turn on the notification. Today's for that. I will be back very soon. Bye guys.